Welcome back to Sounders FC Roundtable. Hi again, everyone. Tony Ventrella with Arlo White and Matt Gaschk. We are at the Field of Champions Family Sports Theme Restaurant right on the Issaquah Creek, Gilman Boulevard in Issaquah. What a beautiful place. Look at all the wonderful food owners Bruce and Denise have put out for us. We'll get to that in just a second. In fact, we'll meet the owner, and we will meet a very special guest named Brian from the Eastside Supporters. They meet here during road games, during away games all the time. What a great place to meet. And they have live music here, kind of Beatles-themed music, Arlo.
Right at my
alleyway. Not that you're old enough to remember the Beatles, because I know you're not. Let's jump right in. The topic at hand, Steve Zakuani, the broken leg, broken in two places. You know this guy, I know him, we all love him. The comeback's going to be hard and long, but if anybody can do it, he can do it.
Absolutely, and I think we should all take inspiration really from the missives that he's been sending out, both on his charity website, the Kingdom of Hope, and the various tweets. He's a positive guy. I love it when he quotes famous people from the past, like Chinese philosophers and people like that, that every journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know that when you're fit, because it has been a tough week, there's no question about it. And there's been a lot of anger and a lot of navel-gazing about this situation. But when you know that Steve is being so positive, you can't help but allow that to affect the way that you feel about things. So I'm feeling better about things later in the week than I was at the weekend. And it's basically down to Steve's positivity. If you look at someone like Leon Washington for the Seahawks, who came back from a pretty serious break of his leg, and he's a kick returner. He's got his speed still. He's still got his bravery. And I expect Steve to make a full recovery, and we're all behind him.
Absolutely. And the doctors have said different things. Some say full season out, some say maybe back before this season. How about replacing a guy like Steve Zakuani? Is it by committee? Do we have one? Let's start with Matt on that.
Well, I think you got to start by thinking of a committee, and Ziggy talked about this the other day, that you got options there in Eric Freeberg and Alvaro Fernandez. You've got maybe dark horses like Lamar Nagel, even Miguel Montano, but there's definitely several options there. I wouldn't rule out David Estrada. I wouldn't rule out maybe even using Mike Facito in that role. There's a lot of options for him, and we've talked at length about the depth of this team, and it's definitely being tested here early.
And this is why they have the depth, because you know it's going to happen somewhere down the road. You never want to see it. It's a knee injury. It's something. Somebody's going to go down, maybe 2 or 3 players. You got to replace him. Michael Tetta's name also came up, I think. Exactly. What's your view? You can't really go with one guy, though, can you? Isn't that too much pressure on one?
It depends. Whoever gets the nod on Saturday against Toronto and they play well, then it's their spot, isn't it? True. And I think you're seeing a revitalised Alvaro Fernandez, masterstroke by Ziggy to room him with Mauro Rosales. A risk, because one's from Uruguay and one's from Argentina, the battle of the River Plate going on there. But then Alvaro scored a goal immediately, an important equaliser in Philadelphia. Freeberg didn't play in the last game down in Colorado, but he's been a big part of the plan so far. So it's down to them to duke it out and to get that starting spot. They'll all be feeling for Steve, obviously, but they'll be excited at the prospects of playing more football for the Sounders. So maybe they're the 2 main guys, and there's a deep squad as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who really grabs the moment.
And I think one thing that Ziggy's shown so far this season is that he's not afraid to bring guys onto the field that haven't played as much and use more of a committee kind of mentality and really kind of a full team mentality. And that's the advantage they have when they have as many players who are capable of getting on the field and making contributions.
It's all about opportunities, too. You have guys that you never want to see a player get hurt, obviously, but when that happens, there's your opportunity, and you go for it. Speaking of opportunities, 5 straight without a loss, and we get ready to play Toronto, a team that's got 4 ties and I think a win and 2 defeats or something like that, and maybe is ripe for the knocking off on Saturday night.
They really are. They're a team that's struggling. They've toyed with lineups, but maybe for different reasons than Ziggy has. They're trying to find something that works. I think in our situation, this works, but let's toy with it and see if we can make it work better. With Toronto, they've struggled to find the right group of guys that can get on the field and produce for them, and they haven't found it to this point, and hopefully that trend continues.
Absolutely. Look who's joining us. There he is. Just as if on cue. In fact, it was on cue. Brian, good to see you from Eastside Supporters. You guys meet here. Tell us, first of all, about your group and how it's growing and what you guys do here when you get together.
Yeah, well, we started basically with a group of friends that had a lack of places to go watch the Sounders on the away games. And so we thought, let's start our own supporters club and find a good establishment that is willing to always have the Sounders games on for us, and the Still the Champions was that place for us.
Well, I'll tell you what, the sandwiches in front of us, you can also talk as we get a shot of some of the food here. So it'll be your voice and the picture of a Reuben on camera. Can you go with that? Is that all right? There's your Reuben right there. How's your membership going, and do you hope to get it up to the big numbers?
It's great. Our beginning goal was 75 members, and we are at 50, 4 games in. So
Good.
We think we're going to far surpass that 75 original goal.
And I know that Matt Gaschk was one of your original members, I believe, too. So that's
Number
really
7,
exciting.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was either 8 or 6. I'm not sure.
Actually, in fact, we do have an honorary member for.
Is he giving us money, Arlo?
Arlo.
Oh,
Thank you.
All right.
Fantastic.
You're now an official member of the Eastside Supporters.
That's awesome. Thanks very much indeed. And it gets pretty lively in here on road games, because I guess at the home games you're all there with your season tickets at Quest Field, aren't you? So for road games, the crowd in here's building, is it?
Yes. Last game we had the whole section filled, so we're expecting to spill out to have basically have the whole place by the year end.
Outstanding.
Fantastic. And you're all massive Onion Rings fans, so you're in the right place, aren't
Thank
you?
you. Grab an onion ring there on your way out. But thank you. He's going to make way for one of the owners here, Bruce, in just a minute. Brian, thank you. Best of luck to the Eastside Supporters. By the way, the barbecue burger right here, made with Denise's famous barbecue sauce. She's a co-owner. This is, oh my gosh, the onion rings on the BLT right there. Before we get to owner Bruce Johnson, let's talk a little about Real Salt Lake. I know you guys want to say something.
Yeah, they're in the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League final, and they're playing against Monterrey, the Mexican team who were in the Sounders group in that competition, of course. They went down to Monterrey and they got a 2-2 draw in the first leg. So it's set up nicely for them at Rio Tinto to try and win this trophy. Now, I know Ziggy won it with the LA Galaxy when it was the Champions Cup, I believe, but since it's taken this current format, no MLS team has won it. So this will be big, and this will be their passage into the FIFA Club World Cup in Japan later this year. So it's a big game. They're without Carl Beckerman for the second leg. That could be significant, but everybody in MLS, every US soccer fan should be right behind Real Salt Lake, because this is significant and this is big, so good luck to them.
Yeah, there's some support from some of our Sounders players as
Absolutely. The players are excited. They definitely want to see Salt Lake do well. It'd be a big boost for MLS. And for someone who spent 3.5 years in Salt Lake like myself, a big boost for my own personal morale.
You don't have a Real Salt Lake tattoo anywhere, do you?
No, I'm not disclosing that.
Well, that's good. Nor
Not that he's prepared to show us, Tony.
nor would we be prepared to see it as far as that goes. But let's bring in Bruce Johnson. Bruce, welcome. Actually, I don't know why I'm welcoming you. This is your place.
Thank you.
You and your wife have opened this a few months ago. How's it going? And tell me what you have here and what the hours are.
Well, it's been going great. The community's given us a tremendous amount of support since we opened about 7 months ago. And the whole idea was to open up a family sports-themed restaurant where you can actually bring your family, your kids in here to watch a few innings of a ball game, watch the soccer games, watch the football games without really feeling like you're in a tavern.
On cue with the family. Very family friendly.
Oh, there's even a 4-month-old here. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's been going very well.
That's great. That's great. And again, the food is just delicious. And we'll take this and sit here and eat in a minute. By the way, Issaquah Creek, right out back. The salmon start jumping in, what is it, September?
It'll be September, October. You can literally look out our windows here and see the kings and all different kinds of salmon going up the creek. So it's quite a sight.
Do you offer the opportunity to catch your own lunch, or is that not automatic?
Yeah, salmon special.
Do you find that soccer and the Sounders drives a lot of business for you?
I really do. I was telling Tony before we opened up the broadcast that I'm a baseball guy and didn't play a lot of soccer growing up, but I've watched the enthusiasm in how these guys have built their club here over the last couple of weeks, and it's easy to get caught up in. So there's a lot of excitement in the building when the Sounders are on the road.
Outstanding. Bruce, great. Best of luck to you and to Denise as well. And I know you mentioned earlier you married her for a barbecue sauce. There must have been more to it than that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Matt?
Coleslaw is great as
well. So from Field of Champions Family Sports Theme Restaurant on the Issaquah Creek on Gilman Boulevard in Issaquah. Wow, that's a title.
Yeah.
For Arlo White, Matt Gaschk, I'm Tony Ventrella. That's the Roundtable for this week. We'll see you soon on another edition of Sounders FC Roundtable.
Number 1!